Hello, good morning, everyone. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah. If I say good morning, why do you say good morning too? Oh my God. Is there any problems?
Good morning, teacher.
Yeah.
I forgot to say it.
Oh my God. Hello, C2. What are you doing right now?
Morning, teacher.
Yeah, why you forgot? You forgot to say hello to me as well?
I'm sorry.
I'm not working a solo show, right? Especially I joined with the laptop and it was taking a long time. So I have to try with the phone again. I don't know why, what's the problem I'm facing right now for the laptop. That's why I was a little late. Okay, so now let's start. What homework did I give you? No one answer.
Let me check again because I
Page
didn't remember.
100,
Yeah, I forgot.
200 to 789, 209, activity 1 and 2, and page 212, activity 7.
Activity 7, 8, 9 on page number 202 and 203, and activity 1 and 2 on page number 209, and activity 7 on page 212. You can check it on our file review as well.
Okay, I will check. So here your homework is Tanda and Million Nora, Lisa, Minta. Next one is in Jane, Jotin Zadjo, Shimon, Elvin, and Crystal. Okay. Hello, Nora, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Let's listen to your writing.
Writing.
Which writing, teacher? There's no writing.
Yeah, there's
No?
no writing here. It's
Oh,
just
there is no writing.
yeah, it's just as activities.
Activity 7, activity 8. Oh, I mess up with other students. Okay. I think I gave you an email writing.
No. There's no.
No. Neither.
Okay. Yeah. So where's homework? Okay, activity 7, 8, and 9 on page number 202. Seven, 8, 9. Okay. Activity 7 is you have to read page number 270 and 271. Before you do activity 7, 8, 9, you have to read 270 and 271. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is this about?
It is the use of modal verb.
Okay, it's the use of modal verb, right?
It's about speculation and detection and possibility.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
So how about other people? Did you read grammar references or not? I believe some of you not.
No. On that day, we already explained. Yeah, you gave me the duty.
We have already discussed about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I remember right, I think.
Okay,
Maybe I know explain that.
but I think some of your friends has already absent about it.
Oh,
So for those who were absent on that day, have you read the explanation on page number 270 and 271?
To be honest, I haven't read it.
Okay, so how about Elvin?
I didn't read it yet.
You haven't done, and after the only you just answer the question, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so now let's check the answer. Activity 7, how certain is the speaker in each of the following sentences? You have to number the sentences from 1 very certain to 5 not at all certain. So which one is not, which one is very certain? Number 1.
Paul will be at home now. He finished
school an hour.
1 hour.
Okay, so how about second one?
Second one is Renner
Renner
must be
on
Must
highway.
be halfway.
Yeah, and then how about third one?
Well,
Cars should have
Should
some
have
gam
gam as him.
at him.
Okay, fourth one.
Daniel
Daniel might be
him.
at gym.
He's not answering his phone.
Okay, thank you. So activity 8. You have to choose the correct model of speculation for the sentences below. And the example is, Paul hasn't slept for 2 days straight, so she can't. Yeah, number 1. I think that I will or I must arrive in about an hour.
Well,
Well,
Okay, will. Number 2, must or can.
can.
Can't.
Okay, can't. 3, may or can't.
May.
May.
May. 4 is might or mustn't.
Might.
Might. Okay, I'm sorry for the background noise. And then 5 is a may or must.
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 Must. Okay, it must be must. And then 6,
Can.
can't. Yeah, 7,
May.
may. Okay, 8,
Won't.
won't. Right. So as for activity 9, you have to fill in the gaps. So number 1, which one did you fill up?
He might.
He must.
May.
Okay,
I fill up might.
He might.
right.
I don't
Yeah,
must. Yeah.
If you fill up may, is it possible or is it appropriate?
I think not.
Why?
Isn't this must?
Okay. Yeah,
Everything
must.
is possible. Yeah.
But might is also possible.
Yeah, might is also possible.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, you can use both must and might, but I'm asking about may because one of your friend answered may. That's why. Is it possible to answer may? Or if not, why?
It's appropriate, but I think it's not very sudden. Might or must is more sudden.
Okay. So the first hint said, he hasn't done anything interesting all day. So he must be bored. This is, this is talking about someone. He is very he hasn't done anything for his job. So one of his friends guessed, and then he said that he must be bored, or you can answer he might. Because if you answer may, okay, may is you are not sure. If you are not sure for your answer, if you are not sure for the situation, you have to use may.
Oh, but might is also unsure.
What?
Yeah, might is also unsure.
The might and might and must is possible.
Okay, so is there anyone who want to discuss about that? Your friend is asking that might is also impossible when. And certain one.
No, might is a very sudden one, just like must. I mean, I might have to do it, so might is a very sudden one.
Yeah. In the page 270 and 271, I will read it, and it said, where is the most certain one, and the following is max and sure and might and may.
Okay, let me
So
check.
might and may is not that different.
Teacher, please solve our problem.
Okay, let me check. Yes, Situ, where is it?
Yeah,
Which page, which line number, which column on page number 270?
let me check. Let me check that page.
You mean like probability or possibility?
Yeah, yes, that.
Are you discussing about probability or possibility? Which one?
Can you wait me a second? I'm searching the page.
Oh, okay. But I see here is a 270 second column, right? We can use will, must, should, might, may, and could to talk about probability. Am I correct?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that one.
Okay. So yeah, your answers is correct. But let's see. What is it? Let's see the level. Okay, the level means that least probable to most probable. Okay, so we can use will, must have, and should have to talk about certainty and probability in the past. Okay, that is talking about the past. But for the present, you can use could, may, might, should, must, and will. But among those answer, why we choose might and must? Because if you use might, so the probability is, so it is, how should I say, more probable. Okay, if you want to show more probable, and if you want to show more probability, you have to use must. And then, so might it only just like a medium,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah,
may is almost least probable. That's why we choose might and must. But if you answer may, we don't say that is incorrect, but it is approaching, it is near to least probable. That's why.
okay.
Okay.
So we are correct.
Yeah, must or might is fine.
Yeah.
So now let's go to number 2. Robert be hungry. So what did you answer?
Well,
But it showed that he hasn't eaten since yesterday.
so that is the most thing. So I use well.
Robert must be hungry for me.
Because he is sure for something else. That is, he hasn't eaten since yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but especially, okay, so according to Situ, he answered will. Because
He
most
answered
probably.
must.
Okay. And, okay, Situ?
Yep.
Yep, your answer is will, right?
Yeah.
Okay, some of your friends' answers is must. So let's discuss about that. What is different between must and will?
Uh, if I have to say, it's not that much difference, but because the reason is he hasn't eaten since yesterday, so it is certain that he must be he has been hungry. That's the most certain. And then, well is the most certain one, so I use the well.
Okay.
So it's like you should prepare a meal for him. It's like saying it is like talking to someone to prepare a meal. Robert will be hungry. He hasn't eaten since yesterday.
Okay. So is there anyone who wants to discuss that?
So it is very sure that Robert must be, hungry. So it's very sure. So must is better.
Okay. So when I explain with the when I explain with comparing with the the explanation on page number 217 and 271, sometimes it's really complicated. Especially, when we talk about something, this is absolutely sure. We have to use must. Okay. I don't mean Situ is, Situ is incorrect, but because of the explanation of 270, it shows that probability. Okay. But here we have to think about is, especially one we usually use. If something is very sure, we have to use must. Okay, maybe for example, if you want to give the order to do someone else to do something, okay, at the time you have to use must. And here also he hasn't eaten since yesterday, or in this situation, you have already sure that without eating anything since yesterday, he must be hungry. Okay, that's why we better choose must. Okay. I'm
I
sorry,
also think
Situ.
about I also think about it, but according to the explanation, I choose the word.
Okay. Yeah, I see. I realized your answer. Okay.
But I actually think both are possible.
Yes, both are possible, but
Yeah, it's
here
for
must is more appropriate.
yeah.
And then it is like an obligation and advice. I think the answers we have to think about. We have to think about the point from obligation and advice. Okay, so now let's go to number 3. That be true. I don't believe it.
That can be.
Okay,
true.
that can't be true. I don't believe it. Number 4. Look how nice that jacket is.
It must be
It
very
must be
expensive.
very expensive.
Okay, it must be very expensive. You blank be that cold.
Should
You
not.
shouldn't be that cold.
Okay, you shouldn't be that cold. And 6, Clive is very hard working.
He must or might, both are correct, I guess.
He must get good marks at school.
Yeah.
Or maybe as a suggestion or advice, you better say he should get good marks at school. If we discuss, at the point of advice or canceling something.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so next one is 202 and 2.
So
Yeah.
what's the solution for nemesis?
Must.
Must. Oh, right.
Okay, so now let's go to 202 and 203 is already 10, right? 209. Okay, yep, 209. 209 is about phrasal verb. Okay, separable and non-separable. I think you have already learned something about separable and non-separable. Can you discuss that? What does it mean, separable and non-separable phrasal verbs? Oh my God. Why the class is so silent?
I don't got the memory of learning that.
Being silent in the class is very good in the exam. Okay. In other, it's not good. The students be
Teacher, what did you ask?
Hello, can you hear me?
Teacher, what did you ask, teacher? I
I
didn't
asked
quite
you what is
hear
different.
it.
Okay, what is different between, how do you understand about separable and then non-separable phrasal verb? Yeah.
Yeah.
What is separable and non-separable?
I don't know.
Don't know. Thank you. Thanks for your answer.
Yeah, I
And
don't
how
know
about
too.
others?
I don't know too.
Yep. Elvin.
Yeah, I'm sure this is the first time we have taught. We have
Really?
seen this. Yeah, I'm sure. Because I don't
think
got a
so.
memory of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't show any page references. That's why I think you have already learned that one. Okay, whatever, no problem. It's fine. Hello, Elvin. Can you hear me?
Yes, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
Oh, okay. So, you know, what is separable and non-separable? This is very sure. Separable is you can separate the verb, the phrasal verbs. That's it. Okay. Non-separable is you cannot separate the phrasal verb. That's it.
Yeah, I think the reference didn't say because it is too simple.
Okay. But you know, what is different between separable and non-separable is, for example, sometimes you can use wake up. Okay, you can use wake up. Sometimes you use wake me up like this, you know. Wake up is non-separable and wake me up is separable. So some of the phrasal verbs works both situation. Okay, especially for example, like wake up. So you can separate and you cannot separate it. If you want to use object, you cannot separate. You can separate it. For example, like wake me up and wake up, like that. Okay.
I remember now.
Thank you. Thanks for your memory. Okay. So now let's check the answer for activity 1. I love the idea of blah, blah, blah about the Earth's secret. Okay, before we do it, come. Okay, come and which preposition do you connect it?
Come up.
Come up, okay, only come up.
Come out.
Come out.
Come out.
Yeah.
I think Camwood is also possible.
Okay, come
Right.
with.
Is it
Come without.
Come on.
Mm.
Come on.
Okay, come out of is not a phrasal verb.
Oh,
You know, you hear you use come out of is only just like a preposition. Maybe can you come out of the class like that, right? Can you come out of the class? It means that like, you know, out of the classes, out of is only just like a preposition. So here phrasal verb is the verb and preposition when they match and when they become a pair, it becomes a meaning like that. Okay,
What about
so
come up with?
come up with.
come up with.
Yeah, you can use come up with. Okay, so how about dig?
Dig up, dig out.
Yeah,
Dig
dig
up.
up, dig up.
Dig up,
Dig
dig
Can
out.
you
into.
use dig out?
Yes.
Can you use dig out?
Yeah. It is like
No.
finding things out. It's like that.
Mm.
Yeah, dig out.
Oh, okay.
Finding the resources.
Okay. And then how about find?
Find out.
Find out.
Find out.
Yes, find out. And then ran.
Run into. Run out.
Ran into, run out.
Yes, ran out and ran into. Okay, next one is carry.
Carry up. Carry up.
Carry up.
Carry up,
Carry up with.
Yeah,
Oh,
carry up.
Okay,
No,
what
no,
is the meaning of carry up?
To lift things up.
Mm-hmm. So how about back?
Back up.
Back up. Back up.
Okay, back up. And then work.
Work out.
Work out.
Okay, work out. And then next one, ran.
Ran into.
Ran out.
That's also.
But then we have
Yeah.
already said
We have
that.
already
You
said
have already said, okay, ran out and ran into.
Ran to.
Yep, so now activity 2. Did you answer 1 to 8? I didn't ask you to do it.
No. You asked.
No, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Homework.
Okay, so what is number 1? I love the idea of
Taking things
Finding
out.
out.
Find out.
Finding
Taking things
out.
out.
Wait. Activity 2, right?
Activity 1.
Oh, geez.
activity 1, 2, or 9.
Oh, sorry. It's finding out.
Taking things out.
Oh, try it out or
Because
take it out.
like it is more appropriate when used like it is about our secret. Yeah. It's more appropriate than finding out. Taking out is like I research a lot.
Oh, really? You research a lot. Okay. Hello, Nora. I see Nhân Nô. Nhân Nô is Nhân Nô King. Nhân Nô is Elisa. Nhân Nô King is Nhân Nô.
You said no, you called me no.
Yeah, I called you Nhân Nô, and then Nhân Nô I called Nhân Nô Elisa, right? So Nhân Nô, what's your answer for number 1?
Finding out.
Okay, finding out things about the Earth's secret. Good. Number 2. Hello, Crystal. What's your answer for number 2? Hello, Crystal. Are you there? Okay. So, Injin.
Hello, Chair.
What's your answer for number 2?
Dig them up.
Dig. Okay, dig them up, right? And then job. Hello, Justin, are you there? Okay, so Minda. Yeah, what is your answer for number 3?
Carry out.
Carry out. I want to carry experience out. So how about next 2?
To find out.
To find out. Okay. Is there anyone who has different answer from Minda? Minda answer for second one is find out.
To work out. How different?
Mm-hmm.
I answer workout too.
Why you answer workout?
Because it is the meaning of how different substance interact and form new substance is to find the answer or solution, so it's more appropriate to use workout.
Yeah, God is more strong.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, but I don't think it is workout because like the meaning is like plan or it is like planning or solve exam. Yeah, but in this it is like watching and when you're watching how different things substance interacts and forms new substance. I think it's find out. So workout is like more solving the problems. This is not solving a problem.
Okay, to work out and to find out. How about others?
Okay.
I think
you always
both
be
are actually
confused.
okay. But workout
But
is
you know, yeah,
workout
the
is
meanings
very,
is a little different.
yeah.
So I think we better do activity 2, I think. Okay, so now let's go to definition first to do the activity 1, right? Activity 2, definition and the phrasal verb. So to discover facts and information is
Find out.
find out. Okay. To support something with evidence.
Back up.
Back up. Yes. To make a hole in the ground.
Dig up.
Dig up.
Dig up. Okay. To find the answer or solution.
Work out.
Work out. Yes. To do something that you have planned to do.
Carry out.
Carry out.
Carry out. To no longer have something.
Ran out.
Ran out.
Ran out. Okay. To encounter perhaps unexpectedly.
Ran into.
Ran into.
To think of an idea or solution.
Come up with.
Okay, come up with. So you have already know the definition of find out and work out. So you can choose which one will be better.
Really, like it is like match the phrasal verbs from activity 1. So all the phrasal verbs in the activity 1 will be referred in the activity 2. So there is no workout. Yeah.
There's no workout.
There's no workout.
You mean that there's no workout in activity 2?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't hear probably because of my connection. So can you tell me?
To find the answer or solution is workout.
Oh.
You know, your friend said to find the answer or solution is the meaning of workout.
So the first one is find out.
Yeah, the first one is find out, to discover facts or information. So, you know, discovering and finding, what is different? And it becomes a challenge word, challenge meaning. Discovering and finding, what is different between them?
Discovery and finding out.
Teacher.
Yes.
It's discover like you encounter something for the first time. And find out is like something already exists.
Yes.
Teacher, can I say my opinion?
Okay, you can.
Finding is something like a result of research or an investigation. Like in science, so he's carrying out scientific experiments, so it's more appropriate to use workout.
Okay.
And meanwhile, discovery is something being discovered by means of accidentally or just existing.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So without what? Yeah. Thank you. So you choose workout, right? So how about without? What's your idea?
For number 3.
Yes. Did you
I
choose
mean the
workout or
workout.
find out?
Workout.
Okay, so can you discuss to your friends why you choose workout?
Because like it says like substances interact and form new substances. Like the answer like already exists, but on number 1, like it's secrets, the art secrets, like it hasn't been discovered yet. So you have to find out. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Minda, are you satisfying your friend's explanation?
Yes.
So the answer is workout.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, do you need some more discussions or do you want to hear your friend's discussions again? It's fine.
No, no, yeah,
Oh,
it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so now let's go to 4. The Hop diamond is also known for the legend that says it is cursed and that anyone who owns it will, what is it?
Run into.
Okay, ran into serious problem. Ran into here is that they are going to face some unexpected things, right? Okay, so number 5. Scientists are unlikely to
Come up with.
Okay, come up with to any physics for that particular belief. So is there anyone who has different answer?
No.
Okay, so 6. There really aren't any facts to
Back it up.
Back up.
Okay, back it up. Yeah, 7. Imagine being the person to
Run into.
Run into.
Imagine being the person to blank that.
Run into that.
So how about others? Do you have different answer?
Wheelchair.
No. Okay, ran into that. 8. We probably won't ever
Run
of
out.
uses for them. Because of uses for them. Okay, so ran out of.
Ran out of. Sure. Wait.
Yes, ran.
Activity 1 or number 7. What's the solution?
Run into.
Run into that. Okay. How about dig up?
Oh, okay. If you want to use dig up, what would be the meaning of dig up?
Yeah, to support something with credits.
Especially, we need to understand the meaning of dig up in activity 2. The meaning of dig up in activity 2 is to make a hole in the ground.
Yeah, to make it full integer.
Yeah, so I think we cannot read. This is not appropriate one.
Okay. Wait, by the way, Chen, can I use it probably might be furious. Can I use like that?
Well, sorry.
If we use if if we put might, can we use probably? For example, he probably might be furious. Is that correct sentence or no?
To use a verb probably, right?
Yeah, probably. He probably might be furious. Is that correct? Or he might be furious is enough. Yeah.
Probably, if you use probably and then if you want to show the certainty, if you want to show some certainty, we use probably. But I think we use probably is we usually use may or yes, may or might.
Oh. So is that sentence correct?
You mean the sentence structure?
Yeah, he probably might be furious.
He probably might be sure. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So did I give you 210? Nope. And then did I give you 210?
You give 212.
Okay, 212.
Activity 7.
Okay, good. Fill in the gaps in each sentence using the verbs given in bracket to write each verbs in the correct form, gerund or infinitive. Okay. I think I don't need to explain about gerund and infinitive, right? Because you may realize that. Okay, so we use ing. Okay, another name is a gerund. Okay, and then we use infinitive is like verb 1, but especially we usually call 2 plus infinitive. Verb 0, right? We don't call verb 1, but most of the people are used to call verb 1, verb 1. But actually it must be infinitive verb of verb 0. Right, so here after suggest, okay, preparation, we suggest blank every detail of your planned experiment in advance. So will you use ing form or infinitive form?
ing.
In ing form.
ing form, this is very important, right? Sometimes you use the verb and after that you misuse it for the ing form and infinitive form. So you must be careful, right? And I think what I want to suggest to you is that you better note down these words, like for example, suggest plus ing. And then how about remember? So that you remember blank. So remember completing or you remember to complete?
To remember. To
complete.
To complete.
Okay. So how about Nora? Where's Nora?
Yes.
Okay, Nora. So what is your answer for third blank of number 1? Don't forget carrying or to carry.
To carry out.
Okay, to carry out. Yep. So next one. Hello, Christelle. Are you there? Are you here back?
Yes.
Okay. Where have you been lately? Okay. So do you know where we right now?
Yes.
Page number 212, right?
Yeah.
So can you answer for number 2? Try out new things you can't help
To discover.
Oh, I think this is very easy for you, right? So number 3. Next one. Yep. Hello, where are you?
Yes.
Sleeping? Okay. What's your answer for 3?
Power castle. I don't know how to open the line. My mom is not home, so.
Which one you have to? Which one you don't know what to open?
The light, the inverter.
Oh, the light. Oh, inverter. Okay. Don't worry that, you know, when you were born, you were born with it naturally, right? So try to be familiar with the nature, okay?
Yeah.
I'm also, because we are in the same boat, right? I'm also, electricity is cut off here at my place. So I'm living with naturally except internet.
So the answer is Getty.
You have to answer number 3. Have an open mind? You can't anticipate
Getty.
to get or getting.
Getty.
Getting all the result that you will need. Okay. So how about William? What do you answer for second answer of 3?
To adopt.
To adapt. Yes. Good. Hello, Uncle. No, Uncle. Elvin.
Uncle. Yeah, that's a great name.
Yeah. His name is Uncle Miet, and surprisingly, I called his name on Uncle. Hello, Elvin.
Oh, he's he's loved. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, already loved.
Okay. So Sidhu, why you are so silent? What's the answer for? Maybe Sidhu has got angry, or Sidhu is lagging, or his connection is lagging.
Hello.
Like
Hello. Sorry.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Taking. Number 4 is taking.
Okay, recommend taking. Yes.
Yeah. But
correct. Fine.
for the number 3, is that really getting or to get? Because I answered that.
Especially and behind anticipate, you have to use ing form.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Don't worry and don't be sorry, Sidhu. Don't worry that, okay? You can discuss. We are ready to discuss and listen to your idea, okay?
Oh no, he might be tired because he argued a lot.
Really?
Yeah, he argued a lot. That's why he might be tired.
He tried a lot for next week exam, I think so.
Yeah, of course he'll be back to us again.
Sorry, there was a loud noise. Can you hear that? It's really strange that, previous time, I have been here for maybe about 3.5 years in Yangon. Okay, so previous time I didn't hear any airplane noises, but after blah blah blah, and then I heard about the noises of the plane. It's really
wow.
Really
So
awful.
where do you live?
I just live in Shapita. My place is not near from the Minglato.
Yeah. That's not the same area.
Oh, but previous time I didn't hear such a noise. Only just after blah 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 blah. Only blah 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 after blah blah blah. I just hear that noise.
Yeah, they might be trained their fighters. Air fighters.
maybe so.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter that other times, but when we learn or when we study and when we teach, it is a problem because it takes time, maybe about 2 or 3 minutes. Okay. Yeah, so whatever, let's go. Number 5. Number five, who wanna answer?
I'm going spec.
I'm going back. Alvin. Yamo. This morning, Yamo is very sorry.
Wait, so do I have to answer the chat? I'm disconnected.
Yes, you have to answer page number 212, number 5.
Number 5. Number 5 is
Yes, yes.
a answer
Enjoy.
performance. Sorry?
Enjoy what?
I enjoy performing. Find experience.
Okay, enjoy performing. Yes, correct. How about Yamal? Expect what? Oh, I just saw, oh, very, 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 very small.
Wait, to be a very good scientist.
Okay. Expect to be a very good scientist. Okay, yes. Thank you. Simone, can you hear me very well?
Yes, sir.
But we can't hear you very well.
I think it's not on my connection. The right one, but I was starting with by data. That's why I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you tell me the last one? You can expect to be or to become?
To be. Yeah,
but
to be subordinated.
it didn't give the verb like be.
Sorry.
It didn't write the verb like be beside the.
Maybe they forgot.
Yeah. So we can choose.
Okay, so what's your answer?
Yeah, I choose to begin because of the title.
It's okay, no problem. It's appropriate. You can expect to become a very good scientist. Yeah, it's okay, no problem. So you can say that, I want to be, and I want to be a doctor, and I want to become a doctor. It's the same, right? Okay, so now let's go to 219. Are you there on 219? Hello, can you hear me? Are you there on 219?
Yeah. I am.
Yeah.
Okay. 219 activity 3. Let's do activity 3. So for this one, you have to think about, like, do you know suffix and prefix? Do I need to explain about that, or you have already know that?
Yes, please.
Okay, so is there anyone who knows about prefix and suffix?
I know.
Okay, so can you discuss about that?
Prefix and suffix are words that are added to, for example, a suffix is a word part added to the end of a word, and prefix is something that is added to the start of a word. For example, is for M. M is M, and the for is the friend of the M, so it's for, and for is the prefix of the words which is added to the start of the words. And then impossible, the possible meaning is possible, and if you add in a prefix, then the meaning of the word become opposite. And then the next one is nonsense. Sense is a sense, and if you add a prefix to the sense and non, it becomes nonsense, which becomes the opposite meaning of sense. So yeah, a prefix is like that, and the suffix is the same. But I don't know much about the suffix work.
Okay, yep. So how about Elvin? Or you know?
Teacher,
Yes.
my So I think it's very in a simple way. Prefix is the words that we use in a front, you know, like anti-social or like this. And suffix is like at the back, like ing or ion or ful. Yeah.
Okay, yes. So prefix and suffix is, I think, to understand, you can understand clearly because prefix, right? Especially fix, fix, fix means that you have to add. Okay, you have to add before and after. If you memorize an easy way, you have to memorize this before and after. Before is pre, after is suff, right? So prefix is before the word and suffix is after the word. That's it. This is the easiest way to memorize, right? But if we say the technically, or if we say literally, if we want to say literally, prefix is you have to add something before the root. For example, like antivirus, for example, antivirus, okay? So virus is the root. We call that, literally, we call the root. Okay, so root, root, right? And then anti added before virus. That's why we call that prefix for root. Prefix for virus is anti, like that. This is very complicated. If you memorize this literally, this is very complicated. That's why you have to memorize easily. You can memorize easily before and after. Before is prefix and after is suffix. That's it. Okay. For example, antivirus. Okay, antivirus, virus is, okay, antivirus, anti is prefix. And then, for example, next one is ability. Okay, able is the root. So lati, okay, ability, lati, okay, lati is a fix, like that. That is very easy to memorize, I think. So now let's think about some of the suffix. Here is, you have to think about, it will be suffix or prefix, okay? Admire. For the admire, how would you change?
Admirable.
Okay, admirable. Yes. Adjective form, right? And then next one, courage.
Courageous.
Courage.
Yes, courageous. Good. Next one, able.
Ability.
Ability to
Okay, ability. And next one, communicate.
Communication.
Communication, yes. And then develop. Development, yes. Next one, nerve.
Nervous.
Nervous.
Okay, nervous. So admirable, courageous, ability, communication, development, nervous, right? Are they suffix or prefix?
Suffix.
Suffix.
Yes, suffix. Okay, thank you. So now let's go to activity 4. Activity 3 title is a little interesting. The girl who spoke to dogs. Have you ever seen a person who spoke to the animal? Or who speaks to the animal?
Yeah, my sister does.
Really?
Yeah.
My mom.
And your mom? Okay. So do the animals listen to them or understand what they say?
Yes.
Yeah, of
Really?
course they understand.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your experience about that? What's your sister's experience? Okay, what animals did she have?
Just dogs.
Oh, okay. How many dogs are there?
Right now 2 dogs.
2 dogs, yeah.
Yeah, for example, daily banyak well, like their reaction is really happy and they're really excited and they smile.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a reaction. And,
Okay.
yeah, but she speaks a lot to animals. Like I can't.
And then, do the dogs? Okay, do the dogs listen to her command?
Yeah.
For example, sit down, go there, come here, eat a lot, don't eat, don't sleep.
Yeah.
Do they listen?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so for me, my dog talks back to us.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, how they talk?
Like when we like told her to stop doing this or stop doing that, she said like woohoo, no, I don't.
Okay, so you would take a movie, a short movie, and then you would send it. So
yes,
okay,
yes.
so
When we open the televisions or the songs, yes, she also like listens and bark too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that they're in your profile page.
Yeah, that's the Leo one. I have 5 dogs, so.
You have 5 dogs. Wow.
Who's the cleverest? Who's the cleverest dog?
Boo Boo, there is the oldest one is the cleverest, and he is the second one.
Oh.
Wait, 5 dogs. So how much does that cost?
How much? I don't know.
I don't know. It's probably expensive, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I have a cat, and
I forgot.
What I say, it doesn't care at all. It's just there.
And then you know the cat's food is also expensive. You mean like that?
I mean, yeah, the cat. Also, like my cat is also a picky eater. So if you like before this, we had like a separate cat food, and we bought her like a bit more expensive one. And after that, when we try to give her the older cat food, she doesn't eat it at all. So there's that.
Yeah, their cost is not that cheap.
The snacks are very expensive though.
Yeah.
They only eat beef.
Especially nowadays when the most out of stock.
Okay, so you know your house would be very how should I say,
energetic.
Yeah, energetic or active every day because of the dogs barking.
Yes.
The dogs barking and shouting to Tom like this, right? Okay. Yeah, so now let's go to activity 4. I think I better call the name because I'm worried that they might be sleepy. Angie, are you there?
Yes, Chair.
Okay, so let's go to activity 4, number 1. Will you choose IBLE or ABLE? The fruit can be eaten. So the fruit is
eatable.
So would you choose ABLE?
Yes. I think both ABLE and IBLE is possible.
No, you have no. There's no IBLE. If you want to say eatable, you have to use ABLE. The fruit is eatable. Yep.
Okay, sure.
So yeah, Jamal, how about number 2? She felt disappointed.
She felt disappointment.
Okay, she felt disappointment. Yes. Nora.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, he was very suspicious.
Okay, he was very suspicious. By the way, Nora, are you suspicious one?
No.
Oh my God. So you believe everyone?
Yeah.
No, this is very dangerous. Okay. You shouldn't believe everyone. Sometimes you cannot believe yourself as well. Okay. So how would you believe to other people all the time, right? But you know, we must have a suspicious mind, but it shouldn't be, you shouldn't show that suspicious mind to other people. Okay, suspicious means that you don't believe that person 100%, but sometimes we have to contrast. We have to, how should I say? We have to build up, okay, to believe each other like that. Number 4, Jatinza.
This is how mic is not working.
Really?
Yeah, it's been about 5 days or 3 days.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hello, Mr. Situ.
Yeah.
Curious.
Her short answer in the chat box.
Yeah.
Oh,
Curious.
really?
Oh,
curious. Oh, okay, good. Yes, curious. Good. Then number 5. Crystal, what's your answer for number 5?
IOUS. Or I don't know how to pronounce it.
Number 5.
IOUS.
IOUS. Oh, okay. And Alvin, where are you? Alvin, what would be your answer for number 5? IOUS or EOUS?
What, IOUS or IOUS?
IOUS or EOUS
Oh.
for number 5. Which one will you choose?
I don't know. Not
The
curious.
man showed
courtesy.
courtesy.
Like, wait, so courtesy. I guess IOUS, but I'm not sure. I haven't heard this word before. Courtesy.
Oh, okay. Yes. How about Lisa?
I think it's EOUS.
So what is the meaning of courtesy?
It's like politeness.
So sorry, I didn't hear. Polite. No, the meaning of courtesy. I didn't hear.
Lisa, can you answer that again?
Yeah, politeness.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, so I think we better do 220 tomorrow. Oh, no, tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday. On Monday, right? We would do it 220, page number 220. But I want to give you as reading homework. You better read page number 279 as your homework, because this is, we are going to discuss about relative pronouns, relative clause, right? You must know what are differences between relative clause and relative pronoun. Are they the same or is there any differences, right? So is there anyone who, please note it down for me, and after that, please upload it.
Sorry, Chen, could you please repeat again?
Yeah, page number 220, page number 220. You have to do grammar reference. You have to read grammar reference 279.
Just 279, right?
Yeah, you just read 279. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going.
Okay. By the way, where is Tanda? Where's she gone?
Yesterday she said she was sick,
Oh, okay. Yeah. So now let's go to page number 246. Are you there on 246? Hello? Are you all on 246?
I am.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm still going there.
Sidhu, are you ready? So,
Yep.
Crystal?
Yep.
Okay. So let's read 246. And I'll give you only just 3 minutes to read the first one, the first explanation about communication. Okay, this is the title. The topic is informal email or letter. You know, according to the past paper of 2021 and 2020, you have to write in part 4, I think, right? In question number part 4, you have to write an email to your friend or to your teacher or somewhere else. It will be maybe the question will change, depends on the time, can change depends on the time, but the form is not, they haven't changed the form yet. That's why we need to learn how to write an informal email or a letter, right? So you better read the first explanation about communication, content, and organization. Right, so please read it yourself first. And after that, we will do discussion.
Joe, page number 276, right?
No, 246.
Oh, geez.
Jesus Christ. With that, do you see page number 246?
Yes.
Okay, good job. Nora?
Yes.
You know, is in? Let me know if you're done. Hello, are you done?
Yeah, teacher.
Yeah, we have already done.
Okay, hello, Minda, are you there?
Yes, Chair.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 points for communication, content, and organization. So can you discuss about 5 points? What you have to do, what do and don'ts.
Oh, all right. So when writing an informal email or letter, you have to avoid these things. You must not exceed the word limit, and you must not write long and general introduction and many people like these things and all those things. You must not write them, and you must cover all 3 points, and then your response should be it sh- your response should be smooth and it must flow successfully. And it should be in an informal register, not a formal one, because this is an email letter. So that's why.
Okay, thank you. So can you call out one of your friends? Hello? Oh, Chasitu. Yeah, Chasitu. Where are you?
Okay. So
Yes.
I will be the one who will explain about the last 5 points. So
Good.
only about 75 to 100 words. So there's no words for the long introduction. So use a short introduction and move on to the main topic very quickly. Also, as I said, we'll limit 75 to 100 words. Don't divide the paragraph into don't divide the passage into many paragraphs. Just use 1 or 2 paragraphs. Also, you are asked to write an email, but you don't need to write an email address. Also, you should try to use a range of punctuation like question marks and exclamation marks, but do not use too much time to think about it.
Okay. Especially, yeah, okay. Yeah, keep on.
And also remember to sign off at the end of in an appropriate way. Don't use like you are sincerely, and do not leave the blank. Like you should use like your lovingly or lovingly or your loving friends. Like it is you should use like that.
Okay, good. Is there any question? No more, right? So now let's go to range and accuracy. I give you 2 minutes. Please read it. Sorry, the connection was lagging. Have you finished?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Hello, Christelle.
Yes.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you explain 2 of them?
Yeah, the first 2 points.
Yes.
In range and accuracy, we have to use a range of vocabularies that is relevant to the task, but you have to like avoid repeating the vocabulary that is used in the bullet points, and you should also avoid repetition.
Okay. Yes, thank you. So can you choose next one to explain about the rest?
Mimiano?
Mimiano. Should we Mimiano mean Alyssa or Miano?
Lisa.
Okay, Alyssa.
So try to include a range of relevant words by avoiding repetition, usually by using synonyms, and be especially careful not to repeat vocabulary that is used in the bullet points in a question. and avoid careless spelling errors, particularly on simple words. Although you probably won't use many complicated structures in an informal email or letter, because the word limit is tight, it is still possible to use a range of different structures. And make sure your work is grammatically accurate and make sure that you use plurals and tenses correctly.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Is there any question about range and accuracy?
Not yet, Chen.
Okay.
So if we make mistakes on complicated words, so where will we get marks?
Especially for the informal letter, you have to use the simple structure. You know, for formal letter, you better use complicated, not complicated, complex sentences.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You can use complex sentences and most of the compound sentences in formal letter. Here in formal letters, you better use simple one and compound one. Especially, I wanna remind you, okay? I wanna remind you is that you better be careful, okay? You should be careful to use the tenses correctly. Okay, if the question asks you to write about future, you have to use future tenses. If the question asks you to write about the past, you have to use past tenses, right? So sometimes the student usually make that mistakes. They are asked to write about the future and future plan, or what would you do next one? What would happen next 50 years? And they try to write with the past tenses. So this is very ugly, right? You have to be careful that one. Okay, so now let's go to the sample question. In part 4, you have to read this sample question for writing part 4. You have decided to spend your pocket money on clothes. Write an email to your friend asking for his or her advice about the item of clothing you want to buy. So in your email, you must write why you want to buy clothes, which item of clothes you want to buy and why, questions to ask for advice. Okay, you must write between 75 and 100 words only. So there are 2 sample letters. The first one is stronger one and second one is weaker one. Now I want you to read the sample answer stronger one. Okay, please the stronger answer first. And you have to read commentary as well. Okay, in enter commentary, you would see how they give the comments about communication and range and accuracy. Okay, please read it. Hello? Are you there?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So for the stronger one, you have already seen it. What is the strong point? Okay, so for the strong answer, in intercommunication and content organization, you see that the student's answer is focused on the question and non-specific content, reading and closure are kept to the minimum. Especially most of the students, they usually write the long introductions, right? Because of your word limitation, you should be careful to use to write short introduction, and the register and tone are appropriate for an informal email, and the bullet points are addressed one by one. Okay, here you see 3 paragraphs, one paragraph after another. So to catch the bullet point. And next one is the consistent sense of audience. Okay, and then next one, the structure is effective. Vocabulary is not wide-ranging. Okay, vocabulary is not wide-ranging, mean that the vocabulary are not much very, not much confusing, right? So now let's go to weaker answer. Please read weaker answer again.
Hello, teacher.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, what did you give to read? Yeah, I didn't catch it.
Yeah, your friends are reading weaker answer and commentary on page number 247.
That one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So can you discuss about the weaker answer, sample answer? What did they discuss about, especially about the commentary?
So you mean like, what is it about the commentary?
Okay, so I will explain it. I don't know why you all, most of you are very slow and very silent today. Maybe because of the connection or electricity or something else.
Teacher, what did you ask?
I asked you to discuss about weaker summer answer.
Oh, I thought you were asking Josito, so.
Yeah, I thought you were asking Josito.
But Josito became silent. That's why I couldn't tell him anything more.
So
you mean that?
So you mean like what did they talk about in the commentary? Like
yes,
like it talk about if the student's answer is focused on the questions or not, and is that include non-specific context or not? And it talk about the register and the tone, and the bullet points are included or not, and it talk about the structure. And for the range and accuracy, is that like the rocks are repeated or not, and it checks the spellings and usage, and its grammatical structure. I think.
Okay, especially I want you to point out what the weak points of this weaker sample answer. Okay, in the weaker sample answer, here the student's answer is generic and it is not focused to the question. That's the first weak point. Okay, and then second one, the register and tone are inconsistent, right? That's the second weak point. And then next one, the opening session is not well suited to an informal email. That's the third weak point. What I want you to learn is you have to learn other people's weak point so you can avoid not to face that situation, right? And don't feel satisfied yourself. Okay, don't feel satisfied very much about yourself because informal letters is very easy. I can answer it. But don't think hide yourself a lot, right? Because everybody can make mistakes every time. So practicing is the best one. And you have to learn what other people's strong point and weak point so you can avoid and follow it in your letter, in your email, right? So here the weak point and the weaker sample answer said that some of the information are not focused to the question. So you cannot get any points for that. And the next one is the registration and tone are inconsistent. So you will lose again here. And next one is opening session. Opening session means that we usually say introduction is not well suited to the informal email, right? And then next one, the first here is said that the first bullet point is not addressed. It means that it's not get to the point where the question asked. Right, so next one is the range and accuracy. Here, the vocabulary in the session that are focused on the text is rather basic and limited. So next one, it has repetition. Next one is a grammatical error. Okay, so when you write an email, you are given 10 points. But for those 10 points, 5 points is for your idea. Another 5 points is for your communication, content and organization, and range and accuracy. That's why I want you to focus to learn communication, content organization, and range and accuracy. Okay, if you realize how other people's weak point, so you can fill up your letter, your email, right? Okay, I think that's all for today. And I want to give you homework. You have to write your email on page number 246, part 4. Okay, you have to write just your own email. Are you okay? So you have got 2 homeworks, right?
Reading assignment.
Yeah, reading assignment, and here is a writing.
Writing.
Email, write an email. Okay, any question? Write an email on page number 246.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so someone please help me and support me to write in the Vivers group. So
Yeah,
your friends, yeah, thank you. So your friend can see it. I can check it. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So
Okay.
bye.
Bye.
Thank you, teacher.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you.
Yes, me too.
Thank you, teacher.
Bye-bye.